Welcome, everybody, to our Industrial Advisors podcast with Bill Condon and Matt McGregor. Today, we wanted to cover a topic that many of you are also experiencing, and it's working from home, not only in the commercial real estate space, but what that transition has been like for us. And Matt, why don't we start with that? How's your average day changed from what it was, previously going to the office every day to, what it's like now working from home?
Oh, wow. I'd say everything completely different. It took some getting used to. Luckily, we're in an industry that I would say is probably easier than a lot of other ones from a technology standpoint, although we can't go look at and feel real estate, look at it and tour it and all of that. We can do a lot, online, and we already were. But the transition to home certainly was different. I don't have an office, so mine got jammed kind of in the downstairs family room. So it can be a little bit of a high traffic area. I would say, my average work week has definitely reduced. I'd say before I was somewhere around 50 hours a week, and I'm probably upper 30s, around 40. So definitely a reduction in overall hours, but I wouldn't say that the quality has changed much. Surprisingly, I'm still doing, normal activities. With the alteration, Bill, of, making breakfast for the kids, before they do online school. So stepping away from the computer screen, obviously a lot more frequently, and hanging out with them and walking the dogs with them during the lunch break, and certainly enjoying a lot more family time, which is that correlation to the reduction of hours a little bit. What about you, Bill?
Yeah, it's definitely been a transition. We have 4 kids in the house, and they're all doing, online schooling as well. So my wife, Jenny's doing a great job with that. So for me, I've had to kind of adjust and learn as we go, in the sense of, where do I take calls from? Where do I do Zoom meetings from? And so I've got that down now. Like you, I'm also enjoying, the part that we get to be around family more. And so I'm also, in addition to, the commercial real estate, daily calls with everybody, the PE teacher for my kids. So we get a lot of recess time at the baseball fields together as well.
Yeah, I find myself doing that, certainly setting up a lot of different things for the kids, and, helping my daughter out with her basketball training daily. So, putting my coach hat back on and doing those things. And like you, I got a new dog. And like a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, how's cleaning up pee and poop going at your house?
Yeah. No, it's we got a Labradoodle named Griffey about a week and a half ago. So it's been an adjustment for all of us. He's great. We surprised the kids with him, and that part was fun. It's a good time to be training a dog, right? It's our first one, so So far so good. And we all love having him as part of the family. How about you? How's your new dog going?
Captain is his name. He was actually named by a young kid, so his name was Captain America. He's as you know, a Rottweiler. He's 6 months old, very well trained, which was great. Bringing a 6-month-old, but he's huge. And our other dog is, he's about 100 pounds now, and our other dog is probably 20 pounds. And so having him just when he runs around the house, if he hits a table, anything on it is gone. Right? So, but he's a really, really nice dog. And so that's been great. And it's so funny how many people have got dogs. The good news is, the adoption agencies on dogs and things they're running out of dogs because all the families are at home, and what a great time to get a dog. And so, swinging this back to commercial real estate is the two, couple of things that are booming, interestingly enough, because of COVID, are pet food companies. So online, I talked to the head of real estate of a pet food company that they're just booming, right? They're having to get auxiliary space because of needing all of the additional dog food and dog toys and all of that. And then And then the other one that's booming that I'm sure you're doing from home is all the gardening companies. And you and I are doing a big deal right now with a company that supplies fertilizer and stuff. And so that's booming. Everybody's out in their yards, doing projects like crazy. And then the other one that's booming is alcohol companies. So statistically speaking, people are drinking a lot more. So we're seeing a big boom in that in both very full recycling bins in the neighborhood, as well as a boom from commercial real estate from alcohol companies.
I was going to say, I'm definitely doing my part on all three of those. Getting back to the commercial real estate side of things and just kind of the working part of it. I find, everyone's probably working a little bit less, but I'm on calls the majority of the day, talking with clients and doing a lot of just relationship building. Because this is, when it's time to make sure that you're talking to everybody, right? And not just trying to do deals and slam deals home. And that's not the approach for us right now. And, our approach is to be advisors and be partners. And so a lot of people want our opinions, and that's a really good position to be in. And so that's kind of the approach that we're taking. But certainly there's no shortage of calls. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of people have thrown in the towel a little bit with the attitude of, when I get back to work, things, what's that going to look like? I think you and I have taken the philosophy of, we're not stopping working. Certainly we're altering our approach. And to your point, I would say that we're spending a lot of time consulting with companies on less fee driven and more partnership driven on helping our clients get through this time the best they can, whether that's growing, which surprisingly a lot of companies are growing during this, especially e-commerce companies, downsizing. Certainly some companies, and a lot of companies aren't growing, and in fact they're shrinking and laying off. And then obviously dealing with, in some cases, helping clients with rent deferment and things like that. And so all of those things are more of a consulting basis. And certainly it's interesting because I will say, Bill, I think people they've slowed down. And when I call people, I can get, C-suite executives, and all of a sudden they're just very chit-chatty and they really, really want to talk to you. So I think that people have slowed down. There's less on their plates, and they're more approachable. Are you finding that?
For sure. And I think a big reason you're able to get that dialogue and that kind of dialogue with C-level executives like we have been is simply because they know we're not calling with a sales pitch, right? We're calling to answer questions. And as I've talked with many of the brokers in our office and in our region that want to, that maybe this is their first kind of pause in the market that they've seen, and they're looking for advice on what to do. My advice is simply to answer questions and be a resource the best you can, because companies do have questions with regards to what's going on in the market and what things are going to look like. And out of all the different sectors, you look at hotels, right? I mean that market's been unfortunately hammered, right? No one's staying at hotels. Office space will be altered, I think, for a while on the new normal becoming, right? And that'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But on the industrial side, the e-commerce portion of everything, I think, is really going to put industrial, in a bright light moving forward, continuing to move forward, because the e-commerce trend is definitely not going anywhere, as you know.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. It's not going anywhere, and it's booming, as we've outlined on a couple of our most recent supply chain podcasts. Bill, shifting gears, just kind of now that you're home, tell the listener a little bit about how life is different from a parenting and a relationship difference. Obviously you were gone, from your running in the morning to rushing off to work, for a 10-hour shift, and, getting back to all of a sudden now you're in the house all the time. And that's creating, a lot of positive things, but, in a lot of cases, you also hear a lot of negative things. personally, how has that affected? How are you parenting different? How's the relationship with Jenny different as opposed to pre-COVID?
Yeah, a number. I don't think that from that standpoint. I mean, there's anything negative with spending more time with family right now. There is an adjustment period that we all, have to make. When, for example, now when I leave for 2 hours to go make, outside of the house to make calls, my youngest Kellen thinks it's well, you're gone for 2 hours. He thinks it's crazy, right? So, it's overall for us, we've just really tried to treat it as a good thing to connect even more and make our relationships even stronger. We do something fun at night. We call it the family fun basketball game. We have basically a 7-game series. It's me and one of my 2 younger sons, and then 2 of my other sons, and we play against each other. We had to put it on hold for a while because my youngest son, whenever he loses, he just rages, man. And people just run away from the guy. So we've had to adjust that. We had to put that on hold for a while, but we were able to bring it back. So that was good. It was much better last night from a losing the right way standpoint. So we've just created different things to do to break up the day. Everyone's got to get their schoolwork done, first and foremost, and then we have some fun once the late afternoon hits and into the evening. So for us, it's been a great way to connect even further as a family. But how about you?
Yeah, that's awesome. You've got a wonderful family, and I know Coach Billy is out there. Your kids are going to be ready for sports seasons when they come back, I'm sure. We've had a lot of adjustments. It's been I will tell you, obviously COVID, has been, a terrible situation, but I would say on our family, it's been, a very good situation, spending a lot more time together. And we've been pretty innovative. I kind of looked at it when we went into this as like, how do you come out of it being proud of, we'll look back and this being a historic time. One of those times in your life that you're definitely going to remember what you did, and you want to be proud of that. And I talked a lot to our family about that. And so things that I love is that, our family was so busy, as I've got a freshman and a junior daughter, a freshman and junior son. And so life was busy. They're both, year-round athletes, multi-sport athletes. They were both competing in state mock trial competitions and speech and debate and all of that going on. And so life was so busy, and now all of a sudden it's not, right? And so, rather than doing, 3 family dinners together a week, now we're doing 7 plus, some lunches and this and that. And so we're doing these great family dinners together. We bought this great Traeger barbecue. We're learning how to cook different meals together and everybody's kind of taking that role on to help out and do different things. And so I will say we're eating really well during this, making all these gourmet things. And then we started doing some unique things. So we started a little McGregor education thing. So for example, last night was my turn, and I showed the family, how to use a drill. And so everybody, got out and learned how to change the bit and learned how to, drill screws and do these different things that, our kids didn't have metal shop and wood shop like we did when we were kids. So we did that. And then another unique thing, tonight will be interesting. So last week, I gave, each of the kids a certain amount of money to donate to a COVID charity, and they needed to research that, and they're going to present tonight at dinner on what their charity of choice was and why they chose it. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. All 4 of us are doing it, but obviously the kids have their unique approach on it, and so just different things like that. And then one other thing that we did that was a lot of fun as a family is we went and got just stacks of cards and wrote cards to all of our friends and mainly the kids' friends. And then they ran around and delivered it at night and put it on their doorsteps with a little candy or whatever. And so just some fun family projects like that has been just a lot of fun as a family unit to do.
Yeah, those are all great ideas. When you did the whole wood shop thing, you should have zoomed me in because I don't really know how to use a drill either. So that would have been helpful for me. But I really we're just telling our kids, go, people are different right now, right? And so, you got to be, socially distanced and respect all that. But, smile at people, You can say hello, keep your distance, but just go out of your way to try and smile and be engaging and most importantly, make other people smile because people are adjusting and people adjust differently, and so I really think your idea on the charity is a good one. Maybe we'll steal that.
Well, for sure, and obviously I stole it from somebody else, so keep stealing.
Yeah,
it's a fun one, and I'm looking forward to dinner tonight and learning what they did with it. From a social perspective, Bill, kind of maybe a last question for you on this is, what are you doing outside of the family? Are you doing Zoom cocktail hours with friends, or how are you doing socially?
Yeah, I mean that's been a really hard part for me. Is both of us are very social people, and I miss the people I work with a lot. I miss my friends a lot. Miss my family a lot, and so we do a lot of Zoom meetings for our our parents and siblings and everything. We typically get together on Sunday nights. We obviously aren't doing that right now so we do Zoom meetings on Sunday nights to get everybody together. And those are great. They last about an hour and we have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, I'm doing about one kind of happy hour a week with friends, and it's a great way to connect. And of course, text messaging is fun too, right? So we're trying to be still get some social interaction in where we can and through the appropriate measures. But definitely miss everybody. How about you? What are you doing?
Some of the same. Certainly, I haven't done the Zoom meeting that much with family. I've more called everybody on a regular basis. Just checking in with them, and then certainly the friends. We've done a lot of different Zoom meetings and Zoom cocktail hours and things like that. We did the other night in our neighborhood. We had 6 people over. Everybody was about in our yard because it was, as it's been brilliantly sunny. So we had about 10 feet between chairs. Kind of a big circle, which was fun to connect with the neighbors and just chat. From a very safe social distancing perspective. And so that was the first. I think we got a little burned out on the Zoom thing and needed some face-to-face. And so we did face-to-face at a great distance outside, which was a nice change of pace and taking advantage of the weather, I will say from a Seattle perspective, at least we've had a lot of nice weather during this time, because normally this time of year would be 45 and blustery, rainy times, and we've had just unbelievable weather.
It's been fantastic. I think I read something. I just skimmed it, so I don't know if this is 100% accurate or not, but it's the driest April we've ever had. But these last 2 weeks have been unbelievable.
Well, that's certainly believable, because I don't ever remember an April like this. We don't even have often June like this, right? June, right. Yeah, they often call our June January. So this has been certainly great. From a perspective, going back to work and kind of closing this up, I think we found great ways to work and stay, active. Work is still very demanding, and I feel like it is definitely picking back up. I'd say that those first couple of weeks of quarantine were a little shell shock for everybody, and it's hard to get a hold of everybody. I think everybody's settling into a new reality of getting used to this, and I would say to some degree I am getting used to it and found great ways to be efficient in it, and kind of found some positive ways of working through this, being innovative and creative in ways that hadn't before. So for that, it's spawned some innovation that's been a lot of fun to discover new ways of working and being productive.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we'll continue to need to do that as we move forward and everyone adjusts to kind of the new normal as things get back on track. But we just want to take an opportunity to thank everybody for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back out with some more here in the near future. So everyone stay healthy, stay well, and we'll be talking soon.